Mr. Speaker, on behalf of United Future, I want to join with others who have spoken in this debate to place on record our support for the people of Canterbury and Christchurch as they recover from what is the largest natural disaster in this country since the time of the Great Napier earthquake in 1931. Mr. Speaker, as a born and bred Cantabrian doing admittedly a rather extensive OE in Wellington, but with very close family links still in Christchurch, I went through the full gamut of emotions of most people on Saturday, immediately checking how family were affected, hearing the stories of what they did at 4:36 and 4:37 in the morning, and then more latterly hearing the stories of the longer-term impact that many have referred to already today. Because this is not just an issue of recovering from the immediate shock of that earthquake and the aftershocks. It's about picking up the strands of normal life again. Little things, going to the shops, making sure the shops are accessible, going to work, having somewhere to go, making sure that you can actually get about the city. Mr. Speaker, I think we've all learned a huge amount in the few short hours since Saturday morning. Our assumptions about our so-called shaky isles being shaky in only one or two places have been shattered when a fault not known for 16,000 years suddenly ruptures, as happened in Christchurch. Our assumptions about the capacity of our communities to respond to great natural disaster have been heartened, I believe, by the response in Christchurch, the way in which the community has pulled together, the leadership provided by Bob Parker and the local council, the support from the Prime Minister and the government and others to make sure that Christchurch's concerns become the nation's concerns, to make sure that this country goes effectively on a war footing to help the city of Christchurch and the people of Canterbury recover from this tragedy. As has been said, the impacts cut deep. Many people will be worrying about their business obligations and how they meet those. And as the Minister of Revenue, can I say that Inland Revenue has set up a special disaster response line. The number to ring is 0800 473 566 for people and businesses if they think they may be facing difficulties. Having said that, Inland Revenue faces its own difficulties. Its own building is not habitable in Christchurch at the moment. It may well be by tomorrow when we can resume normal operations. And that's a good little metaphor for what's happening right across the city. Things that people expect to be there and able to function as normal will be hampered one way or another for a considerable period of time to come, and a great deal of flexibility and adaptation is going to be required to address this. Mr. Speaker, this has been a situation where New Zealanders have shown we can pull together in time of crisis for the greater good. But I have to observe there has been one discordant note. I want to acknowledge the superb coverage provided by Television New Zealand and Radio New Zealand and other radio stations on the day of the disaster. But frankly, the incessant march of media vultures from outside the city since Saturday evening, and the situation we now have where the two major television channels are arguing over ratings, over whose coverage there has been of this tragedy, is simply disgusting. And I say to all of those media outlets, pull back, let's have the facts from the people on the ground. We do not need the stars tramping over the rubble of Christchurch to advance their outlets' ratings. This is a time of tragedy. It is not a time of entertainment or comedy. And, Mr. Speaker, I urge the media outlets to act with greater responsibility to show some respect and dignity to the people of Christchurch